Good morning, happy students. Today our topic is MySQL, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about different queries related to MySQL and different syntax of MySQL related to DDL, DML, and DCL statements. So this is a revision part. And in our previous lecture we already discussed different aggregate functions, and in this lecture we are going to discuss different commands of SQL. So let's start. First of all, some basics about MySQL. What is SQL? As you know that SQL refers for structured query language, and it is a database language. So it is a database computer language. These all are the part of a practical file, students. So now you can see that SQL is a data computer language designed for the retrieval and the management of data in relational database. And SQL is a structured query language which is a computer language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving data stored in a relational database. And third important point regarding this is SQL is the standard language for relational database system, and all relational database management system like MySQL, MyAccess, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, and SQL Server are use SQL as a standard database language. So there are two or three important points. First of all, it is a database language. Second point, SQL refers for structured query language. Third important thing that is the language used for RDBMS, and here RDBMS refers for relational database management system in which the data is stored in the forms of table. And all the modern RDBMS used MySQL as a database language, and in which MySQL, MS Access, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, and SQL Server. These all are the important RDBMS and used and very popular MySQL, and use SQL as a database language. So these are some points related to MySQL or related to SQL. Remember that SQL is a database language and MySQL is a RDBMS. So students get confused between SQL and MySQL. SQL is structured query language. It is a database language, while MySQL is the name of the software, and which is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System software. And what is the meaning of RDBMS? RDBMS means that data is stored in the forms of tables or in forms of relation. Next is why we use SQL. That is second important question. Why we use SQL? So SQL allows users to access data in a relational database management system. So using SQL we can retrieve a data from a database. So that's why we use SQL, because without SQL we cannot able to retrieve the data or manipulate the data from a database. And second, it allows users to describe the data. Using SQL you can describe the data in a database management system, and that it allows users to define the data in the database and manipulate the data. So using SQL we can define the data and manipulate the data, and always remember that SQL is again divided into three basic parts: DDL, DML, or DCL, or we can say that three different sub languages. So DDL, DML, and DCL are three sub languages of SQL, and these indicate data definition language, data manipulation language, or data control language. So data definition language is basically used to basically related to the structure of a database, and data manipulation language contain all those commands which are used to manipulate or which are used to manipulate the data in database. And third is data control language. As the name suggests, basically these are the combination of that commands which are useful to control the data. So next our point is it allows to embed it within the language using SQL modules, library, and precompilers. Next is allows users to create and drop databases in tables. And next is allows user to create views, stored program, function, and database. It allows user to set permission on tables, processes, and views. So two or three more important points are here. Again, SQL is a programming language which allows uh, using this SQL we can able to create a database. We uh, and we provide different permissions on different tables, procedures, and views here. We are also able to drop database and tables in our program, and of course retrieval and manipulation are also there. And according to the user and a user according to the user, he or she can describe the data of a database. So using SQL, different types of operations on database will be performed related to data manipulation and data retrieval. That's why we use SQL, structure query language. And there is a history of SQL also. Actually, SQL is used with RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, and the concept of Relational Database Management System is given by EF code, Dr. EF code. So there are certain principles that should be followed by each and every RDBMS, and if they follow these principles, then only then we say that this is a proper RDBMS or not. So this is a brief history of my of SQL. In 1970, Dr. Ezra F. Code of IBM is known as the father of the relational database. So it is a very important question for general knowledge. And he described a relational model for a database. So relational model of a database is given by Dr. Ezra F. Code, and shortly known as Dr. EF Code. In 1974, structure query language appeared. In 1978, IBM worked with the Code's ideas and released the product name System R. And in 1986, IBM is and in 1986 there is a prototype on relational database and standardized by ANSI. And the first relational database was released by Relational Software and later become Oracle. So Oracle is the most important RDBMS used and very popular RDBMS and very much used nowadays. SQL commands. So SQL again divided into three basic categories. These are DDL, DML, and DCL. DDL refers for data definition language. These include all these commands which are used to create or delete data in a database, which are used to create and delete structure of a database or structure of a table. So if you want to create a structure or if you want to create a table or database, then you can use create table command. If you want to change the data, you can use the alter table command. And if you want to drop or delete the table or database, you can use drop table command. So these are the three important commands: create table command, alter table command, and drop table command. And these are the part of DDL statement. And why these are the part of the DDL statement? These are the part of DDL statement because in DDL statement all that commands are the part of DDL statement which are related to the table or database structure, and you can perform only three operations regarding to the table or database structure. These are create, alter, or drop. You can create a table, you can change the structure of a table, and you can delete a table or a database. So these three commands are the part of DDL statements. So many number of times in examination it is asked that what are the different types of DDL command are there. So there are only three DDL commands are there. These are create command or create table command. Using this we can easily create a table and create and second is alter table command. Alter table command, we are able to change the structure of the table. It means that if we want to change the structure of a table, it means that if we want to change the data type of a table, or we want to add a new column into a table, or if you want to delete
new column into a table, or if you want to modify the structure of a particular column, uh, then it is also possible using alter table command. So using alter table command, we can add a column, we can remove an error, remove a column into a table, and we are able to change the data type of a table also, and even the size of the column also. Suppose that if that already declared that the size is varchar 50, then you are able to change the size varchar 100 using alter table commands. So these are the three important commands: create, alter, and drop. Using this, you can able to create a table or a database. You can able to um, change the structure using alter table command, and using drop table command you are able to drop the whole commands with its structure. Always remember that whenever you use drop table command, then the whole structure of the table will be deleted, and you cannot get uh, back this table when you so just when you just print select statement, then there is no result found for that. So drop table command actually deletes the data entirely into your system with its structure. Data and structure both are deleted using drop table command, and students get almost confused between drop and delete on commands, and this question is asked so many number of times in examination, that was the difference between drop and delete command. Drop is basically a DDL statement which basically drop the whole table at a time with its structure and data, of course. So data and structure both are deleted using drop table commands, and after that, if you want to show or if you want to check the just the data of that particular table, then no data will be shown for you, because the message is there that no data will be exit for the table. But using delete command, you can easily see that if you delete all data or entire data of a table, then after you can put a select statement for that table, then you can easily see that the result is there that no data is found. No data is found means that there is no data for that, but the structure is also there. Structure is there for that table. It means that using delete command, you can able to delete the entire data but not the structure. If you want to delete the structure, you can use always the drop table command, or using drop table command, not only the structure of the data or structure of the table is deleted, but also the data content that and the table will also be deleted with its structure. So after the using drop table command, no data is found in a table. So these are the three commands: create table command, alter table command, and drop table command. So always remember that these are the part of the DDL statement. DDL statement means data definition language, because they describe the data in a database, so that's why they are called the data definition language. And there are only three commands, and almost all the commands are the part of data manipulation language. In this case, delete command is a part of data manipulation language, because it used to manipulate the data, in which yes, I told you that when we use the delete table command, then using delete table command all data can be deleted. Then this is a type of manipulation, or we can say that we manipulate the data. So delete table command is a data manipulation language command. So now let us check what are the different data manipulation command here. These are the different data manipulation command here, important data manipulation command here. These commands are select command, insert command, update command, and delete command. So these are the few commands, and almost all the commands are a part of DML, data manipulation language. Few commands are only the part of DML, DDL, and DCL. And there are four important commands for which there are four important commands which are a part of DML. These are insert, select, update, and delete, and these are frequently used in our SQL. So select command is basically used to retrieve certain records from one or more tables. So if you want to retrieve a record from one or more tables, then you can use select command. So select is basically a data manipulation language command. And then insert command, if you want to put the data into a table, then it is possible using insert into command. So insert or insert command. And then third is update command. Update command, basically if you want to modify the data of a table, then you can use update command. Now there is a question regarding to the update table command, that what is the difference between update command and alter table command. Then just I told you that earlier that alter table command is a DDL statement, while update table command is a DML statement. Using alter table command, a user can able to alter the structure of a table. It means that he or she can able to add a column name into a table first. Second, he or she can able to delete a column name, delete a column into a table. And third important thing is that using alter table command, user can able to change the data type or change the size of a column. So so alter table command is basically a DDL command, but update command is just opposite to that of the alter table command. Update command actually update the data, not the structure. So update table command is a part of DML, and alter table command is a part of DCL, sorry, DDL. And why update table command is a part of DDL? Because update table command is a part of DDL statements, because using update table command we are able to alter the we are able to update table command is a part of a DML statement, because using update table command we are able to update the data. So if you want to change the data of a table, you just use update table command, and if you want to change the structure of a table, then just use alter table command. So there are so many number of times in examination that a question asked related to update and alter table command. What is the difference between alter and update table command? So in one line we can say that alter table command is a DDL statement, and update command is basically a DML statement. Using second point is using update command we are able to update the data of a table, and using alter table we are able to change the structure of the table. So that is the basic difference between update and alter table command. And so last is delete and drop. I think now delete is also clear for all of you. If you want to delete the delete one record, or delete certain record on the basis of certain conditions, and delete all records, then we can use delete statement. And using delete statement we are able to delete the data of a table. So delete is basically a data manipulation language, of course, but don't confuse between drop and delete. Using drop command we actually delete the entire table with its structure, but using delete command we are able to delete the data of a table, and structure remains same, and even if the all data corresponding to the table is deleted. So delete table command is basically used to delete the data of a table. So these are the four important commands, DML, and I told you that most of the command falls in the category of DML, and some of them are select command, insert command, update command, and delete command. So these are some commands used for data manipulation. Next is a data control language. So as the name suggests, data control language is basically these are the commands which control the data, which control over the data, and these are known as data control language. And there are two basic commands, grant and revoke. So as the name suggests, grant and revoke, basically grant command is used to gives a privilege to user, and revoke command takes back privilege granted from the user. So that's why these are called the data control language, because it controls over the data and it do nothing, but these are the concern with the privilege given to a user. So if you want to give a privilege, then using grant command, and just revoke is just opposite to that of the grant command. Revoke command is just opposite to that of the grant command. It takes back the privilege granted from the user. So grant and revoke, these are the two commands which are part of data control language. In examination it is asked so many number of times that define DCL, because most of the student get aware of the fact DDL and DML, but DCL command are not very much used in SQL, because practically or for a single user they are not very much used. So this is asked in examination, that what are the data control language. So data control language contain two commands: grant and revoke. Grant command is to give the privilege to user, and revoke command takes back privilege granted from user. So these are the two commands. Uh, two commands. Now SQL syntax. There are some important syntax for commands here. This is the part of your practical file, and at least 15 commands should be mentioned in your practical file. So these are one of the most important thing about SQL is that SQL is case insensitive. It means that it doesn't affect whether you write in a capital letter or small letter. It always provides you a result. So you can write select in small letter or select in capital letter. Both gives you a result here. So different commands can be um, write in uppercase or lowercase letter. So first of all, select statement is a very important command here. Second is distinct clause, and third is where clause. So first of all, let us discuss about these three. So if you want to put a select statement, if you want to select the data, complete data, or a certain part of the data, you can even use select statement. And select statement is of course an command which is related to DML, data manipulation language. So just write select, after that the column name, different columns names. And if you want to select the entire column, then just don't need to write different columns names. Just write a symbol of star there, and then from, and then after table name. So entire table will be selected. And then SQL distinct clause. If there is a repetition of data and you don't need that, you don't require the repetition of data, and you just want to delete that data or consider it as a single unit, so just put a column name distinct. So just write select distinct, and then column name 2, and then column name. As the name says, distinct means uh, unique value, so from table name. So again, distinct is used with select statement, and if you want to put a distinct data or unique data, then yes, use distinct before the column name. And there is another clause named as a where clause. So using select statement, we just write different columns named after the select, or just write a star sign, and using this entire data will be selected. But if you want to put if you want to uh, put a condition, and you want that according to that condition data should be filtered, then just write where clause. So we write where clause after the from table name, and there should be a condition after the where clause, and according to that condition, data or records will be filtered. Suppose that we want the record of all those students who have age less than 18. So we just write select, and then suppose name of the column is age, then we just write select age from table name is students. So select age from students where age is less than 18. So it basically gives you all the records of students who have age less than 18. So that is the basic purpose of where clause. Next, there are three important clauses here: and, or, in, and between. And, or, in, and between. These are the three important clauses used in MySQL or in SQL. MySQL, as I told you, that is the name of the software, and SQL is a database language, part of all modern RDBMS. And here you can see that there are the three commands: and, or clause, in clause, and between clause. So when there are two conditions or more than two conditions, then we can separate these two conditions using and or using or. So these are used basically when there are conditions given, and as we know that condition are given with where clause. So after that where clause, if there are more than two conditions, then we can put and operator or operator, or we can separate them by and or clause. So what is the difference between and or? If we want that result is displayed according to both of the condition, then we just separate it by and operator, and if we want that either of the condition is found to be true, then result will be displayed, then we separate it by or operator. So that is the basic difference between and or operator. Second is in clause. Basically when we find out a data from a sequence or from a sequence, then we put here in. For example, if you find out a uh, value in a particular in a different sets of values, then we just write where, then just column name, then in, and then value 1, value 2, value n. These are the all values, and out of these values we have to check whether this column name is a part of that values or not. So this is basically used in, and this is basically used in with the where clause. So in clause is basically find out the data set, data value within a particular number of items. If this is found in the particular number of items, then the conditions will be true. Otherwise, if it is not, we are not able to find out if this value is not the part of a list or a sequence, then condition becomes a false. And the second is between. In, if we find out a value between certain range, for example between we have to find out the age between 18 and 30. So using this we can use between clause. So it is also used with where clause. And so just write in, just write between in place of in, and the functionality of between is quite similar to in, but only the difference between them is it actually find out the value between two different values. And whereas in our clause is concerned, in basically found out a value regarding to a particular sequence. So these are the different three important clauses here. Now note down the sequence. And next is a like clause and order by clause and group by clause. Like clause is also used with the where clause. If we don't get exact idea of the value, so we put like clause. Like clause is actually used with a pattern, and there are two wildcard characters, underscore and percentage, used with the like clause. And if you want to find out data according to certain pattern, for example, suppose I want to know all the students' name whose first letter is start with, whose name is start with the capital letter P, or small letter p. So it exactly find out using like clause. So what we have to do, just write select statement as we declared above, and after that where, just write where column name like pattern, and then pattern should be printed. So here we write just p percentage. It means all the letters start with a p. And here one thing should be one thing is very important. If you write small p, then all the names start with small p are there of your are there. And if you just write capital P, then all names reflected with a capital letter P will be there. So it is case sensitive. When we put a like clause, it actually finds out the data according to the character or the input we provide, that like clause. And next is SQL order by clause. If you want to put a data according to ascending or descending order, for that purpose there is a data, there is a clause named the order by clause, and we just put it after the where condition. Or there is no condition, then we can put it after the from table name. Then we just write order by and then the column name, and according to that column data will be selected in increasing or decreasing order. So for increasing order there is a keyword ASC. You can specify the keyword ASC, and if you don't if you want to data in descending order, if you want to show data in descending order, so there is a keyword DESC for this purpose. And always remember that by default there is ascending order. And the second question, which is very important to the order by clause, is that we can put data uh, and we can manage the data as ascending and descending order, um, for not only for a single column but more than one column also. And for two columns we can easily put the data in ascending and descending order. For example, if you suppose that if two students find out if the name of two students are same, and we want to put a data in ascending order according to the name, then uh, it is difficult. And then both of the data are, because both of the data are of the because of the data values are same, then there should be needed another data value. According to that we are able to find out the data in ascending or descending order. So we can take another column. Suppose we can take another column, date of birth. So now if the name is found to be same for the two students, and then data will be filtered according to the date of birth. And for if you want to put data in descending order, so just write order by column name and then DESC. And last is group by clause. Group by clause is used with the aggregate function, and different aggregate function are already discussed in our previous lecture. And you can see that here when we want to make a group, then we just use group by clause here. So just write select and the aggregate function should be there, and then from table name and then where condition, and then after group by clause. And according to that group, where group of column, the value that are repeated are considered as a single unit. So now I hope these are some commands. In our next lecture we will discuss some more commands and revise and these commands. So thanks for watching this video.